to Sway TV. I'm your host, JJ, here on Amazon Live, and I'm so excited!
We're gonna have some fun on the street.
And we're doing Workout Wednesdays here on Amazon Live.
And she is fresh off the set of Shark Tank.
It's such an honor to be here today, so thank you.
We are gonna be talking all about parenting.
Functional medicine is all this stuff. It's integrating things that improve your life.
This is our tribe of women.
I completely agree with you, Kimmy. It starts with being happy with how you look.
What is the key to a successful business?
We made history here on Amazon Live. Would you ask her out again, Michael?
I am so excited for today's Battle Shop Live. And it's Brad Grunberg. Hi, Brad. What more could you want than the Self-Love Workbook? Rosalinda just said this is better than Netflix.
Oh, Naveen says this is better than Netflix. Yes!
Here we go, here we go.
There's a Tesla. You can actually buy a car on Amazon. That is so crazy. The perfect gift. Yes, we got our Drake's Cake break.
David is live streaming. We got it right up in the corner. I love this.
Oh, that feels so good.
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever.
So awesome.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your zoo life.
This is fun.
Drum roll, please. Dun, dun, dun.
And one person's gonna win a PS5. Which one will it be?
Here we go. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it.
And Sam's in the chat says, Sway TV rocks. Woo! We're still going. Yeah, we don't sleep at Sway. One of the best comments I've ever received, ever, hands down.
2, 1.
All the time streaming live. We're sharing great products. We're doing great interviews and amazing giveaways.
Amazon, we love you, Amazon. So grateful for you guys and for Sway TV.
I've had such a great time with all of you.
Shop attainment all the time.
It is a girl's dream come true for someone like me to be able to give you dating advice and shopping all in one platform.
Amazon Live, woo! Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway. Let's sway.
Let's sway.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 2nd. It is Women's Month. March is all about women. And Sway TV has all of these incredible hosts and we're all women, and I'm so excited to be part of this tribe and to be here. And look, you just have to check this out. So I should be introducing myself, right? I'm Marissa Gold. This is The Art of Parenting. We're on Sway TV on Amazon Live. I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. But check out all of these incredible hosts that are on Sway TV. Look at all of us. We are a tribe of women. We come to you. This is Shop Attainment. While you are hanging out with any of us, we have different shows that we offer to you, from dating advice to working out to getting ready. The host before me was talking all about astronomy. Now we're going to be talking all about parenting. And we get to tie it into shopping, all of the favorite things that we like to bring into our home to help us, whether it's with our kids, for ourselves, for significant others. Hello, Star Michael. Is that Michael Star or Star Michael? You can tell me. The other Gold, he will be here with me on Friday. But today you just got me. So, we're just hanging out together today. And on Friday, Jed will be back. He comes in and co-hosts with me on Fridays now, though not all Fridays, but some Fridays. He will be here this Friday. And we will be doing our giveaway I don't know if you know about our giveaway, so I should tell you about our giveaway. So the other Gold, Jed Gold, who you might think is my other half, he is not. We are divorced, but we are very good friends, and so he comes on and co-hosts with me, and we talk all things parenting and work and entrepreneurial life because we both have businesses. And oh gosh, I didn't bring up his. Okay, well, he started a company called Archive, and Archive is partnering with Sway TV. Archive, what they do is they take all of your kids' artwork, or really anything that you want to memorialize for your children or your family, and he puts it. You send it into the Archive warehouses where they have built out these incredible photography studios, and they professionally digitize anything that you want, and then they send back to you this gorgeous coffee table style book that you can have forever and ever, that captures whatever it was that you wanted to send in. So there are some people that send in all their kids' artwork, but we've seen it actually be used for a number of different usages. People have sent in trophies and awards. They've sent in pictures, they've sent in ticket stubs, all kinds of things, anything that you want to memorialize. So Jed is partnering, and Archive, they are partnering with us at Sway TV. So thank you, Jed and Archive, for doing that. And they are giving away not one, but two gift cards to Archive, so you can take all of the art or whatever it is that you want to memorialize, and they will create a book for you. And along with that gift card, you will also get art products and things that I love, different things that I have curated that are special. You can look in my store on Amazon, on Sway TV. You can check it out. And that is where you can see some of the different art products that you're going to get. But hey, why not? I think I will just show you some of the things that you're going to get, because after all, they're some of my favorite art products for kids. And so why not share them with you on this beautiful Tuesday morning? So I'm a really big fan of this company. It's called Kid Made Modern. The reason why I like them so much is because if you've been following along and watching and hanging out with me before, you know that I am all about quality and things that go the distance. And so this is, let's see. There we go. This is called the Kid Made Modern Arts and Crafts Supply Library. And here, I'm just gonna go show you. Look at this. Look at all of the stuff that comes in that. I mean, that will last your kids so many different, it'll take them through so many different art projects. So anyway, so you're gonna get that along with the gift card. And you're also going to get some other fun art supply products, something like this book, which is, there are so many of these types of coloring books, and these are great for all ages. I love these. I've talked a lot about self-care on this show, and I've talked a lot about what to do when you need to give something to your child and keep them busy, or when you yourself need to just chill out. And so this is something that we use in our house. I really like them. So that is something. So you're going to get that. So there's all different kinds of arts and craft supplies that you're going to get in this giveaway, and we're going to do it on Friday. So join us and follow us at swaytv.com and at followswaytv.com. And I'm so glad you're here with me. We are going to talk today about how we build strong human beings. And I don't mean strong in terms of like they're able to pick up stuff and they're strong and they have muscles. I mean mentally strong. How are we building mentally strong, healthy, happy, productive human beings? Because let's face it, if you are a parent and you have children at home, you have them for a very minuscule time. Now, I know when you are in it, I understand that you may feel like the days are lasting forever, and you may feel like you're pulling your hair out, and you may feel as though you want them to leave, and it may feel like it is taking forever to have any peace and quiet in your home. But the reality is that in the scope of a child's life, you actually have a really limited time to assert your views, your values, your thoughts, your feelings about the world, and to teach your children how to grow up and be really strong human beings and individuals that can go out and be productive and happy and healthy human beings, right? And so we're going to talk today about what are some of the things that we can do in order to accomplish that, because we have them for this really small window. Yes, they're typically home. If you have a child that's going to go leave, if you're going to become an empty nester when they go to college, then that's around 18 years old. But let's be real here. The reality is that once your kids are teenagers, they get much more social and they really don't want to hear a lot from mom and dad or their caregivers. And so you have a finite amount of time. I would say that really, in the first few years, it's all about keeping your child alive and happy and nurturing them. And it's very different. Our goals with newborns and babies up to about 3 years old, it's very different than when we're talking about 3 to 12-year-olds. So we're going to talk today about 3 to 12-year-olds for the most part. There might be some outliers that we might discuss age-wise and developmentally, but we're focused really on 3 to 12-year-olds today and how to build these healthy, happy, productive, self-confident human beings that have, self-esteem and self-confidence, and that are leaders and that can go out and advocate for themselves in the world. Because after all, one of the things that we know is if you have these abilities, that's actually more important than getting straight A's. I mean, it really is. And what we're talking about is EQ. And you've probably heard that term before. That's about our emotional intelligence. EQ is more important than IQ. I mean, is IQ important? Absolutely. If you want to go out and you are a scientist or an astronomer or a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or an artist or whatever it is that you're into, yes, intelligence matters. Absolutely. But even more important than that, in my humble opinion, is our emotional ability to handle ourselves in the world, and equally, if not more importantly, to go out into the world and handle ourselves when we are with other people. And that is where so often we get tripped up, right? Because I think that it's hard to be with other people. It's hard to communicate with other people. It's hard to stick up for ourselves. It's hard to get into productive confrontations, right? When I use the word confrontation, I know that that's very triggering for some people. I know that some people hear that word and they think to themselves, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't want to be confrontational. You know what? Being confrontational is not negative, because we want to think about how we're going to be confrontational. How are we going to have that conversation? Is it going to be a productive conversation where on the other end of it, two individuals or more are going to come out of it and feel like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And now I can move forward and I got something out of it and I'm doing really well because of it. And no, maybe I didn't get 100% what I wanted, but there was compromise all around and we're all happy with the outcome, right? That is a productive confrontational moment. So confrontation does not have to be negative. I just want to be very clear about that, okay? Confrontation can be a positive thing, and especially when we teach our children how to go into confrontations and how to advocate for themselves. And I'll tell you, recently, it's interesting right now, right? Like our kids are home, they're on Zoom school. A lot of kids are now starting to go back to school in some hybrid capacity. Yay! Hoping my kids can go back in some hybrid capacity soon. They're not quite there yet at their school, but hoping that can happen soon. But it's, when that happens, what are we typically concerned with? Well, as parents, we're typically concerned with grades. And honestly, that plays into our kids and how they feel about school and how they do in school and the pressures that they might feel. But the reality is that there are actually things about what we as parents should be giving to and teaching our kids about the bigger and the more important lessons at school. That's honestly how I feel. I feel like as long as my kids are putting time and effort into it, I actually am not I really don't, I mean, I probably shouldn't even admit this live. I really don't care what grades they get as long as I see that they're putting the time and the effort in and they're really, showing me that they are learning the material. Because let's face it, not everyone is a good test taker. Some people don't like standing up and giving presentations. I mean, there are all different things that are challenging for not just kids, for all human beings. But what I do care about is that they've put the time in and they've made the effort and they've tried to learn the material as best as they possibly can. And I also care very deeply about how they communicate with their teachers and how they present themselves in school and how they are able to advocate for themselves when something is not going the way that they want it to go or when they don't understand something. And so for me, that skill set, the skill set of being able to speak up for themselves and to be a good listener and to be a good participant and to share and to help people and to be someone's friend and, to help the teacher and to listen to the teacher and to be respectful towards everyone in the classroom or the virtual classroom, whatever it may be. To me, those are the more important attributes that I want my children, and quite frankly, I would like all children to grow up with. I think that we would be a country and a world of kinder and more compassionate and happier and healthier human beings if we were teaching our kids those skills, that skill set, instead of just get straight A's. And the workload that goes along with having to get straight A's also. I think that sometimes schools are just drilling down into their kids, into their students. So today I want to really talk about how are we teaching our kids to do those things? How are we teaching them to build up their own self-confidence and their self-esteem? And at the same time, what are we doing to help them learn to advocate and to understand their value system so that they can take that with them into school, into the workplace, into friendships, into romantic relationships, basically out into the world, right? Because we want them to be healthy, happy human beings out in the world. Okay, so before we get into all that, I am going to do, as you know, I like to come on the show and I like to just kind of calm down and take some deep breaths. We're already like 15 minutes into the show, so I'm a little late on this, but I didn't put any lotion on my hands today because I was rushing to get to the studio as usual, and so I'm gonna put some on right now. And this is, I'm gonna share my favorite lotion with you because I like to share my favorite things with you. Maybe I should have a list called My Favorite Things. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so this is my favorite lotion. It's called Way, and it's so funny because it has, it does not look like it is clearly not spelled Way, but that is what it is called. That's how you pronounce the name. And I absolutely love the way that it smells. I love how light it is. It is, paraben free and phthalate free and all those good things. And it comes in this 7.5 ounce container, which lasts forever. I've been using, I have this one that I keep here actually in the studio because, like I said, I forget. So I like to just have it here that I can come and use and share with you. But at home, I've been using one, I think, for like over a year now. It's crazy how long it lasts. So, again, if you shop with me, you're going to see some items that are a little bit pricier sometimes. Like this lotion is $38, but the quality is so worth it and the longevity of the product is so important to me. And with any product that we're talking about, longevity is really important. So, I'm never going to share with you a product that you're going to be like using for a few weeks or with your kids, like one period of development. Because while yes, there are some things that are necessary, I really believe in bringing things into your home that will go the distance. So anyways, okay, so I got my lotion on my hands. My hands are feeling better because you know how like we've been washing our hands so much, we've been sanitizing so much, my skin just feels dry all the time. So I'm using a lot of lotion. And then the other thing that I'm going to share with you, just because you're going to see me drinking from it so much today, because I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. That's very bad. I don't know what that's going to mean for the show. I might say things twice. I might forget. You just don't know. but it's intentional. It's intentional because I'm trying to drink more water. And I mean, I drink a lot of water already. I have to be honest. Like, it's really all I drink is water and like my coffee or my latte throughout the day. But I'm really trying to drink more water, even more. And I do it in this. This is this simple, modern, classic insulated tumbler. And the reason why I love this tumbler so much is because it came, and shout out to my sister-in-law who got this for me for the holiday, one of my holiday gifts. But I love this so much because it comes with both a flip lid and a straw lid. So it is interchangeable. You can use it for your coffee and you can use it for your water. So whichever way you know, if you want hot, cold, whatever, if you want to drink from a straw, if you want to drink from something that's more like a coffee cup, whatever your pleasure is, this works for you. And it comes in so many different themes and colors and designs. And I have the Carrera Marble, if you like the one that I'm drinking from, and I'm using the straw lid because I'm drinking water, not coffee this morning, which I'm very sad about, but I'm also, it's okay. It's fine. It's good. So, because you know what, really, the reason why is because no one has gotten me the Ember mug yet. So Ember has not sent it to me. I have not received it from my ex. It has not been given as a gift to me. And as a result, I am drinking water. But if I did have coffee and I was wanting to drink it here because I am constantly multitasking, this is I think one of the absolute best products for multitasking. Hi Mel, thanks for following. We're gonna enter you in the giveaway. You know it's coming up in a few days. We're doing another PS5 giveaway, so we're gonna make sure you're entered into that. I was just saying that because I am a working mom and I multitask and I'm always busy, sometimes it takes me, when I do drink my coffee, it can take me like an hour, hour and a half to drink one cup. And so this Ember mug is literally the best thing ever, the best invention for multitasking parents. Check this out. Did you see that? Did you see how much stuff that woman got done? I mean, honestly, it didn't even really look like she's a mom. I mean, it looks like she's just working. But on this product, the Ember temperature controlled mug, this literally should be like, there should be a list of what every working parent has to have. And there should be like 10 products. I'm going to put this list together, in fact. And there should be like 10 products of like, if you are a working parent, especially these days where we're working at home and managing our kids and the home, and I have 2 dogs, like life is constant and crazy and loud and chaotic. And this would keep my coffee hot for more than like 10 minutes. Like, hallelujah, right? So this would be on that list of 10 products. I'm going to build out that list, and I'm going to share that list with you. And if you are a parent, you are going to want, or a multitasking parent, a working parent, or even just a really, really busy human being, you are going to want everything on this list. Maybe it will become like my holiday list for 2021. We'll see. We'll see about that, right? We'll see. Okay, so I shared with you some of my favorite things and how I get my day going. I wanted to actually see, as long as we are in my list, I want to see if there is, I have a favorite, I have a favorite book series right now that I'm really into for the youngish kids, for the I would say the sweet spot for this book series is 4 to 8 years old. And I'm looking to see right now all the different books that they have in their book series because, so let me just show you. It's these, they're called A Kid's Book About. And the one that I have here is A Kid's Book About Racism. And this was actually written by the founder of this book series. His name is Jelani Memory. I'm trying to get him to come on my show. He's very busy because this was on the Oprah's list of holiday gifts that were must-haves for 2020. So you can imagine how popular he has become. But I have reached out to his people and we are talking. And Jelani, come on, be on my show where we can talk about all your books. But what I was specifically looking for is I wanted to see if he had a book that was specific to what we're talking about today. And I should have looked before, but I actually just thought about this. So let's see. I'm going to go on. I'm going to show you on the browser as long as because I can control this. It's so fun. See, look at all of these. You can see. Look at all of these books. Literally anything you want to talk to your kids about. I mean, this is so incredible. So the first one in the series was A Kid's Book About Racism. I've read at this point, I've read about 3 or 4 of these different books. I've read some myself and some with my kids and some with my niece. So all different ages. And I will tell you that even as an adult, you will get something out of these books. So like I said, the first one was Jelani's book, A Kid's Book About Racism. But there's a kid's book about money, about gratitude, about failure, about feminism, about depression, about creativity, about cancer, about belonging, about body image, about anxiety, about adventure, about bullying, disabilities, about divorce, shame, empathy, mindfulness, about voting, yay, voting, and white privilege. And there's even more. Look, there's even more. So then there's about death, about systemic racism, change, about God, about optimism, and about emotion. So look at how many books, how many incredible books are in this book series. And there are a few that would actually work really well with what we're talking about today. So I want to just call your attention to this book series, because I think that if you have a child between 3 and 8 years old, there are some books within this book series that are absolute must-haves for your library. And I am very excited to say that in about I think we're going to do it in 2 weeks. I need to look at my calendar, but we are going to be doing a show all about kids' book libraries, the books that I think you should have in your book library. We're going to be talking to a couple of authors that I've already booked for the show. I'm super excited. They are authors of some of my favorite newer books. And actually, one of them's been around forever, so I shouldn't say newer. It's been around forever. It was reprinted during the time of COVID and the pandemic because the author, I knew someone was going to ask me that, and I don't have it in front of me. The book is, hold on, I shall look and let you know, because the book is called The Invisible String. It's a fabulous book, and Patrice Karst is the author, and she is going to be coming on, as well as we're going to do 2 segments that day. I'm really excited about this. We are going to be talking as well to the woman who published the book, who brought it to market. We're going to be talking all about that process. So if you are interested in publishing a book, you are going to want to join us for that interview, because it's going to be really cool. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that actually have book ideas and want to bring a book to market. And it doesn't even have to be a kid's book, but it's going to be a really cool opportunity to hang out with someone who brought a book to market, as well as a couple of authors, and to hear about the process and to get their take on why they wrote these books, why they were brought to market, who they're helping, etc. So I hope you'll join me for that. We will put the date up and let you know when that's coming. I'm still in the process of fine tuning the details for that show. So that's coming down the pipeline though, just to tease that a little bit. And you know, Jed and I have talked about some of our other favorite books, and I'm not gonna bring them up onto the screen right now, but you know how much we love Yertle the Turtle. You know how much we love The Giving Tree. There's so many great books out there for kids. This one was Lillian Duncan was a book that my daughter said she really loved. She believed that with children that you should surround them with books from a really young age. And I think that that is one of the ways that we actually create these really strong, healthy, happy, productive human beings. Because with books, first of all, you can find a book for anything you want. There's literally, you know, any subject that you are looking for, you can find a book for it. You can find a book for almost any age, right? Oh, Beverly, you're asking the book about race, etc., the kids' book about series. So here's what's so cool about it, okay? So this one, the kids' book about racism that I was showing you, this is by the author. His name is Jelani Memory. Jelani, Jelani. And if you search on Amazon a kid's book about, if you just write in a kid's book about, you will, the entire, you know, it'll bring you to like one of the books, right, in the search list. And then you can click on that. And then at the top, I can actually show you. I can do this live with you guys. And make it really easy so you know. So if you see, I'm going to show you my browser, what I'm doing while I'm doing it, okay? Hopefully, let's see, is that working? Yes, okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in a kid's book about, right? And see, it came up immediately. That first thing there, it says a kid's book about racism. So if you click on that, and then if you see at the top, it says a kid's book about racism. And immediately underneath that, it says part of a kid's book about, and it says 26 books. So if you click on that, it will take you to the page on Amazon where you can find all of the different books. And the coolest thing is that each book is by a different author. So Jelani has brought in all of these different authors that are specialists in their own unique areas that they have written the book about. So, for example, there's this book about feminism, right? And it's by Emma McElroy, and this book about depression by Kalea McIlvaine. So there are so many different, I hope I'm not totally butchering those names. I apologize if I am. There are so many different incredible authors and people to learn about in addition to these subjects, because I think, I know that in a kid's book about racism, I know that it talks about, Jelani talks about himself. He wrote this book for his son. And so like in the introduction to this book, he talks about why he wrote it and what was what came before, what was the idea for, and what propagated him wanting to do this. And so I think I don't have all of these with me, and I honestly haven't read all of the intros for all of the different books, so I can't sit here and say that every author talks about their shared experience or shares their experience with us, but I do think I would guess that most do. And let's see, I'm just curious. I'm just going to click on so I just clicked on a kid's book about gratitude, and it's by this author, Ben Kenyon. So I'm going to click on his name, and it says, so there you can find out, you can visit Ben Kenyon's page. So if you're interested in learning more about these authors, there are definitely ways to do that. But I'm super excited about this book series. I think that, the price point on them, they're not super inexpensive. But the quality of the book is amazing again. And to me, this is one of those things, like so here's the crazy thing. So my kids are 12 and 15, so they are clearly beyond the sweet spot for this. But when I first read, the first book I ever read from this series was it was a kid's book about white privilege, and I loved it so much. And to be honest with you, I learned things from it. And I'm an adult, and I'm, a white woman, and there were things about it that I took away from the book. So I think, and then I showed it to my daughters who are older. So I really believe that this is a book series that everyone should have in their household. And I really, even though it just came out and my kids are past the sweet spot for this age, I am going to, when I get around to it, I'm going to purchase the entire series and have it, because I want it to be something that becomes almost like a family heirloom that we pass down from generation to generation. So, which means I'm going to have to get 2 sets to give to each of my daughters so that they'll have it in their homes for their kids. Because I think that it's so incredibly important. And every one of these topics, they're so important. And I don't want to sit here and say that one is more important than the other, because I want my kids to know about gratitude and about money and about racism and about white privilege and about depression and about creativity and cancer and God and all of these things. These are really, really important books. So the author is, Beverly, for you one last time, the author, his name is Jelani, Jelani, memory, like our, like we have a memory. Okay. So that's the book, and there are so many there are 26 books in that series, and I highly encourage you, regardless of what age your child is, because especially when your kids are younger, when we're talking about building these healthy, happy human beings, one of the things that we can do that is to teach them things, right? And as parents, I think sometimes one of the things that we do is we're constantly rushing through our day. Of course, Beverly, you're welcome. And excuse me, thank you so much for following me. And because you just followed me, Beverly, we're going to enter you into our contest. We have 2 of them coming up. This Friday morning at 9 a.m., I'll be joined by my co-host Jed, and we will be doing the Archive Sway TV Arts and Crafts giveaway. And then on Monday at 5 p.m., we're going to be doing the really big PlayStation 5 giveaway. So because you have followed us, Beverly, you are going to be entered into both of those drawings. So thank you so much for being here and hang out with me. And if you have other questions, please feel free to chime in. Going back to building these. Hey, Andrew, how are ya? So good to see you. Thanks for joining and hanging out with us. Oh, you're 17. Well, should you maybe be in school right now? I don't know. Building these healthy human beings, one of the ways that we do that is we start early, right? And I have a lot of parents who in the early years are just rushing to get through the day, or they're so focused on making sure their kids are eating and sleeping and doing the things that they need to do to survive. And yeah, that's important, absolutely. But it is really important to start early. So people will say to me all the time, well, when should I have that first conversation with my child about religion? Or when should I have that first conversation with my child about sex? Or when should I have that first conversation with my child about cancer? When should I have these conversations? And so one of the things that can be challenging for parents is knowing how and when to have these conversations and to do them in ways that are organic so that kids will actually listen and take in the information. So with really young kids, you can't do this with older kids. Like I couldn't go to my 12 or my 15-year-old and say, hey, I want to read a book to you about God so that we can have a talk about religion. That would not work. They would roll their eyes at me and probably slam their door in my face. So I would have to approach it differently. But with younger children, with like the 3 to 8-year-old kids, this is a great way to have to bring up a topic that you as a parent might be nervous about or may need some help having that organic conversation, right? So you can pick a book and you can read the book to your kids, and then you can ask open-ended questions. And even better with really young kids, you don't even have to read the whole book. You can pick parts of the book. You can read a page here and a page there, and you can talk about the pictures on the book. One of the great things about the Giving Tree is that the pictures are so illustrative of what the author is trying to teach, the lesson from the book, right? And so you can actually point to the pictures and just talk it out loud to your child, and at the end they're going to have had a beautiful conversation with you about the importance of giving and receiving and sharing and being aware of our surroundings. And I mean, there are so many lessons in the Giving Tree, right? Who doesn't love that book? And it becomes a much more organic conversation than even just sitting and making your child sit next to you while you read a 5-minute book, which, let's face it, having a kid sit down when they're 3 or 4, or even 5 or 6 years old and read an entire book. Yes, there are some kids that will do that, but not all kids will do that, right? There are a lot of kids that have a lot of energy. They may not have the attention span to last an entire book. So one of the things that I will even say to parents with really young kids is put the book on your child's lap and sit next to them and have them point out things that you can ask them, right? You can ask them questions. You can say, oh, what is the tree giving to the little boy now? Well, the tree gave the little boy an apple, or the leaves, or the branches, right? You can just have that conversation. It doesn't have to be the story verbatim. And sometimes I think we as adults get lost in having to do something the correct way. And in that case, the correct way would be reading a book from start to finish. No, you don't have to do that. You can put the book on your kid's lap. You can ask them questions about the pictures. You can point to something and say, what is this? When they're really young, you can start by just labeling objects, just talking to them, and then build into asking questions about the pictures that they're seeing, and then build into actually telling the story, and then actually read the story. So the longevity of a book is enormous. You can start with a 2-year-old and go until you have a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old. And God bless you if you can sit down and talk and read to your kids and they're willing to sit next to you and read with you when they are 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. So like I said before, some kids will do that and some will not, and that's okay. So anyways, reading is a great way, because if you are talking to your kids and you want to talk to them about gratitude, you want to talk to them about white privilege, you want to talk to them about self-confidence, you want to talk to them about body image, you want to talk to them about learning how to advocate for themselves. All of these different topics can be found in books. And so this is a great way for you to have these organic early on conversations when your kids are really young. And I highly encourage you to do that, because the other thing that it will do is it will teach you as a parent how to communicate with your kids. It will teach you. Bye, Beverly. Take care. I will be back Friday morning. So join me and my co-host Jed. We will be here Friday at 9 a.m. and we will be doing our giveaway, and we will be talking. Fridays are a little bit, when Jed is with me, it's a little bit of a different show. We do parenting, but we also just talk about all sorts of stuff. And I have a very funny surprise for him this Friday, which he doesn't know about unless he's watching, and who knows, he might be. But I have a very funny surprise. And because it's a surprise, I can't say it, but you have to join us, because it's going to be comedy. It's going to be like very funny. So hopefully he won't be mad. That's all I have to say. Okay, so what else can we do so Beverly, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and the rest of the week, and hopefully I'll see you on Friday morning. Okay. I had to have some water. Okay, so what else can we be doing to build these strong human beings? And again, when I say strong, I'm not talking about can they lift something and are they, do they have muscles? Although that would be great if you have kids that are athletic and working out. But really what I'm talking about is mentally strong, right? So if you are just joining me, I am Marissa Gold. This is The Art of Parenting. We are live on Sway TV on Amazon Live. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It is Tuesday. It is March 2nd. It is the month of the woman. And so I'm very, very happy and excited to be here with you, to be sharing all of this, information, this parenting advice. And today we're talking about building strong, healthy, happy, productive human beings, and what that really means, and how that is really about EQ versus IQ. And understanding our own emotional intelligence and how to go out into the world and use that with other human beings. How do we interact with other human beings? And then also teaching our kids about their helping them to build their own self-esteem and self-confidence, making them strong leaders and really great at advocating for themselves. These are the things that I think if we can do that, and we produce these kind children and compassionate kids that go out into the world, and then we build a better future for everybody. So, okay. So how else do we do that? We've talked about starting young, reading books about these different topics that are so important. The other thing that I want you as a parent or as a caregiver to be thinking of, and I know you have heard this word before. I know you have, because it is talked about all the time, okay? But I'm going to say it anyways because it is so important. It is how we, as the caregiver of the children, model ourselves and show them how to behave. Because let's face it, we cannot constantly talk at kids and say, do this and do that and act this way and don't do this and say this and don't say that, right? If we do that to kids, we come across as though we are nagging constantly. And you know what happens? Our kids put up a wall and they don't listen to us. They become defensive. They may shut down emotionally. They may want nothing to do with us. There are a whole host of ways that our children will react when we talk to them that way, when we talk down to them, when we are disrespectful, when we just tell them what to do without explanation. And so we need to flip it. We need to think about, how can we get our point across? How can we teach them what we want them to learn from us, but in a way where they're actually going to receive it, in a way where they're going to buy into it. And the way that we do that is through our actions. We do that by modeling the behavior that we want to see. Now, I know that you've all heard that word, and I know that we've talked about that before, and I know that people know that they should be modeling, but I don't see it happening quite as often as I would like. And it is very hard to constantly be modeling the behaviors that we want to see. I understand that. We have our own things that we need to do to get through the day. We have, work. We're dealing with our own issues, our own whatever we have going on. And so, but we need to really be thinking about, as much as we can, what are we teaching our kids? And every single thing that we say and that we do is being monitored and soaked in by our kids from the time they are babies. Every single thing. And it's not just our interactions with them. In fact, more often than not, they are seeing and picking up our interactions just in their environment with other people. So you talking to your spouse, or your significant other, or a friend, the way you carry yourself on a phone conversation, the way you talk to a teacher in a conference, the way you talk to your friends, every single thing, the way, the study habits, the way that if you read a lot in front of your kids, the way that you put food on the table, literally every single thing that you are doing, your kids are watching. I'm just gonna take a moment to let that sink in for everybody, because I think that we as parents forget that they are watching all the time, even when we are not actually interacting with them. And because of that, it is so important to really, hey, you Tech Pia, thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to have you here. It's so good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, do you have kids? I'm so curious. I don't even know. Are you married? Do you have kids? Because, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. That's awesome. I'm just curious if you also have kids, and if so, how old they are. Oh, nope, you don't have kids, but you are married, so you are going to work on having kids, right? Okay, and you have lots of nephews and nieces. Awesome. Okay, well, tell your sisters and brothers that they should, hang out with me and get this parenting advice, right? That would be super fun. so the modeling is so important because I think that as, you're so welcome. I think that as adults, I think that we forget that we are being watched and listened to all the time. And everything in your child's environment is being watched and listened to all the time. So if you have the news on, they are hearing that and they are taking it in. If you have a movie on, if they see that you are on your computer all the time, or if you are constantly on your cell phone all the time, if this is literally in your hand all the time, they think that that is acceptable, right? I have a lot of parents say to me, I can't get my kids off of their tech devices. And my response to those parents is always across the board, well, are there times in the day where you are putting down your own tech devices and it's not that I just don't want you on them and not looking at them. I mean, physically putting them down somewhere in your home or in your purse or in your car and not looking at them. They are away from your body. Because if you are not doing that, how can you expect your child to think that they should do that? Because our children, whether they ever say it to you or not, because they won't say it, I can tell you right now, they won't say it, they are looking at you, their parent, their caregiver, as who they are going to become. They are taking it in, and what you do and what you say, especially when they're young, they believe that you are right. They believe that everything you do is correct. They believe that the way you are acting is how they should be acting. And so they are soaking it all in. And so anything and everything that you are doing, they are seeing and thinking that it is acceptable and it is okay, and it is how they should act and behave. So if you want to see certain behaviors, the absolute best thing that you can do is model that behavior, right? So, how we talk to our kids about when we tell them we want them to do something, it's not enough to just tell them. We have to show them, and we have to be doing those things as well. So for example, and I'll show you, because we were talking about technology, and I do think it is so, so important to put technology down and to get a break. And I will say, and I'm on, this is live, yes, you tech Pia, they will think that you are the perfect example. No, it's not pressure. It's not pressure. Don't think of it that way. It's actually, that's such a good point that you bring that up. And I'm so glad that you did, because here's what's so funny about that. So I have a lot of parents who say to me, this is a lot of pressure and I cannot be this, quote unquote, perfect all the time. And my response is, you don't have to be perfect all the time. In fact, I don't want you to be perfect all the time, because our children also need to see us mess up. Our children also need to see us cry. They need to see us say that we are sorry. We need to model all of the behaviors, not just the perfect behaviors. They need to see us say to someone, I messed up when I said that. I shouldn't have said it that way, and I'm sorry. So let's figure out how to have that conversation in a better way. Does that make sense? It's so important. So, when you as a parent or as an uncle or an aunt or, a caregiver, anyone that's around kids, you don't have to be perfect. But what you have to be doing is thinking about, what am I showing my kids? What are they seeing right now? And it's really important, actually, especially with younger kids. Well, quite frankly, with older kids too, it's really important that they see adults model the gambit of emotions, because if all they're seeing are their perfect parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents and caregivers, and those people never make mistakes and they never cry and they never say I'm sorry, do you know what that's going to do to those kids? Those kids are going to go out into the world and they are going to think that they are always right. They are going to be incredibly stubborn. They are going to be incredibly sensitive. They are going to have characteristics that we actually don't want them to have. So David, it's not about being perfect. It is about being authentic. It is about being your authentic self, doing your best, knowing and understanding that the kids around you are watching at all times. And when you mess up, you need to honor that and talk about it with your kids. I cannot tell you, yes, there is a balance, a very healthy balance. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone to my own children at the end of the day, and not so much anymore, but when they were younger, and there would be a day where I was, we were rushed, or I was impatient, or I was inflexible, or I yelled, and I would go to them at the end of the day and I would say, you know what? I was really impatient today. I didn't practice enough patience, and I'm sorry. And I want you to know that tomorrow I'm going to try to do better. And over the years, because I did that in different scenarios, my girls now at 12 and 15, they honor when they mess up, and they will apologize to me. And often they will, let's say, blow up or have, a teen tantrum or get mad at me or roll their eyes or do something that's disrespectful. And I let it go. I don't engage, because if I engage, all we're going to do is escalate, right? So I walk away from it. And ultimately, what always happens, is that child comes back to me either via text, because sometimes it is via text, or in person, and they apologize for their behavior, and they say, you know what, I was actually really hungry, or I was actually upset because I felt like you didn't hear this, or I was actually annoyed because I want to be with my friends. And at that point, then we can have a conversation about it, right? Hi, Lexi. Hey, welcome to the show. Hey, have you guys followed us officially? Because if you follow us officially, you get entered into our drawings, and we've got 2 of them. So just to recap our drawings in our live, winnings, what's coming up. We're so excited about this. On Friday, we're doing the archive giveaway, which is the gift card to get a book. They like to say that they are your child's first publisher, so they're giving away. Oh, good, Lexi. I'm so glad you're already followed. Great. And then coming up on Monday at 5 p.m., we're doing another PS5 giveaway. Woohoo! Yeah, that's so exciting. I think I want to do one of those on my show. Hey, producers, can I do a PS5 giveaway on my show? I want to do that. Okay, but going back to, so I'm glad you followed, because that means you're entered into the drawing, right? So I wanted to share with you something that I think is really important for technology specifically. If you are an adult that has a hard time putting down your devices, and I will tell you, there are a lot of you out there, right? Hey, Marco, thank you so much for following. I'm so glad you are following. We will enter you into our drawings. You will be eligible to win on Friday and or Monday. There are so many cool things coming up, and I'm actually going to be I'm thinking about doing another drawing. I'm not going to tease it quite yet. Another giveaway, because I'm excited about it, but I have to run it by my producers before I announce it on Amazon Live. That would not be good, because the Sway TV producers need to approve it, and then I can announce it on Amazon Live. Okay, but keep following, because then you'll be eligible. So if you are an adult that has a healthy relationship with technology, you are able to put it down and set it aside and say, there is nothing there that is so important that, hey, oh, David, Marco. Awesome. Oh, very cool. Wait, so Marco, so good luck with your live streaming. That's exciting. So if you are an adult and you need, awesome. Well, I'm so glad you guys are here hanging out with me. So Lexi and Marco, do you guys have kids? And if so, how old are they? Please share with me. I want to know. I like having parents join me on the show. Okay, so if you are an adult, I keep getting called off of this, but if you are an adult and you have a hard time putting down your technology, then one of the things that is very helpful is to have a very specific place in the home that you can actually put it and know that it will be there when you go back to it. And when you put it down, because it's a very specific place, your kids see that it is there. And it can be in that place over here with your kids' technology too. And one of the ways that I really like to do that is I like to have a charging station in the, let's see, I don't know if this is gonna let me, I just lost power on the console, but I'm trying to refresh it, so hopefully it will work. But anyway, so this is a charging station, and oh, here it comes. It's coming back. Hopefully I'm gonna see everything so that I can actually go and show you all of this. I may need the producers to be switching for me because right now the panel is not working.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
The top thing.
Yeah.
Drop down up here.
Yeah.
Drop it down to sway.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ah, there we go. See? Learning technology. Thank you. Okay. So it's coming up right now. Okay, there we go. Okay. So this is the charging station that I love. This, the reason why I love this charging station is because look at how many devices you can put on it. You can charge 6 at once. And I like to tell parents to put this charging station in a communal area in the house, typically the kitchen if you have room. And what happens is you can say to your kids, you can say, we're having no tech time. You need to put your tech down and charge it. And you as the parent can do the same. And it can charge everything all at once. Check this out. Hello. Okay, so yes, so David, yeah, I think that they're very loud. So interesting. The product video volumes are very loud in the last 2 days. Thank you for that feedback, David. Much appreciated. But I wanted to answer your question. Yes, you can absolutely put this in the living room also. And yeah, I mean, the reason why I really like putting it in a communal space is because you can actually then keep the family together in that communal space when things are charging. You don't have to, but the big thing here is that it's out of the bedrooms, right? I don't want you charging things in the bedrooms, at least during the day when things are down. And again, this goes back to modeling. So if you want your kids to have no tech time and put their technology on the charging station, you have to do the same thing. You have to be modeling that behavior, right? So I mentioned before the giveaways that are coming up. I just want to show you, this is exciting. Speaking of technology, one thing I will say about the PS5 and about gaming, so gaming is a way that, look at that, David, I think you're in second place. Gaming is a way, that's so awesome. Gaming is a way that kids today socialize with other kids. And so I really, parents sometimes let their kids just go on their games and just be on their games solo and with their friends. And especially if you have tweens and teens, I really encourage you as a parent to learn some of the games and play those games with your kids, because that is an ultimate bonding moment. And that is a window where you are going to get their attention in a way that is different than when you're sitting at a dinner table or on a walk or even in their room talking to them. They're going to be really engaged in playing the game, and at the same time you're sitting right there next to them, and you can do this one of two ways. You can either just be in close proximity to them and share that time together and have fun and laugh and kind of jostle with each other and talk, or you can even use that as an opportunity to try to have a conversation, because one of the things that we know about talking with kids is it's always easier on their terms. If you try to talk to them on your terms, when you want to and how you want to, they are going to put up walls. It's going to be very challenging. But if you talk to them on their terms, so, when it is good for them, when you have their attention, when there are not that many distractions, and you would think that gaming is a distraction, but they're so focused on the game, they're not concerned with other things in their environment. So it's actually a time with very few distractions, right? So this is a time when you can actually really talk to your kids, have fun with your kids, enjoy being with your kids, etc. So yes, I'm super excited about the PS5 giveaway. It is coming up. It is in just a few days, less than a week. We're 6 days away. It's next Monday at 5 p.m. Make sure you're following. If you're just joining me and if you've never been here with me before, I'm Marissa Gold. This is The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live. I'm so excited to be here with you. Make sure you follow along so that you get entered into our fabulous drawings. We've got 2 of them coming up, one this Friday. It's the archive giveaway. And then on Monday, we have the PS5 giveaway. So many giveaways here at Sway TV. We love giving things away, right? I mean, come on, we do it all the time. Okay, so we've talked about communication and having conversations with our kids, right? We have talked about modeling and making sure that what the behaviors that we want to see, the levels and the styles of communication that we want to see we are modeling. But there are other things that we can do as well. We can actually meet our kids where they are at emotionally. And this is another thing that we can do starting with kids really, really young. And so I'm going to share with you one of the things that I really love to do with kids when they're young, to start teaching them about their emotions. But before I do that, David, you said that your parents used that similar technique on you when you were little. When you didn't have game, but their parents would take you to the bowling alley. Yes, absolutely. So here's what's so interesting about that, right? So I just said a minute ago, meet your kids where they are, right? Meet them in their activities. Meet them where they are happy, where they want to be experiencing life. Hello, Coralina. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for following. And you are now entered into our 2 drawings. They are coming up, our giveaways. So I'm so glad that you're here. But yeah, David, you're so right. So if we can find ways to connect with our kids in the places where they are most happy and most comfortable, it doesn't matter if that is a bowling alley. Well, right now you can't go to a bowling alley, but pre-COVID, if it was a bowling alley or a miniature golf course or, gaming next to your son or your daughter, or reading next to them, right? Or maybe going to the spa together if they're older, or going for a walk, or taking a bike ride, or going for a hike. There are so many different things that we as parents can do with our kids to connect with them. And one of the things that technology has done, and I love technology. I am a huge proponent of technology, but in moderation. And I think that one of the things that technology has done is that, we as adults have forgotten how to bond with our kids because we're not doing it in the ways that we used to. And we're all spending more time on technology. And so now we have to really, really work. We have to make a point at bonding. We have to make a point, we almost have to like schedule the time or know in our mind, oh, from 5 to 6, I don't have any meetings, I don't have any calls, I don't have to answer any emails. I'm gonna go for a walk with my kids, whether they want to or not, right? We're gonna go for a walk, or we're gonna go for a bike ride, or pre-COVID, I'm gonna take them and go miniature golfing, or go to the batting cages, or we're gonna go stand up paddleboard, or whatever it is that you can do where you live. Go for a walk. Maybe you're just gonna sit down and color with them in one of these, one of these types of coloring books. The idea is that you're sitting and doing something with your kids and you're bonding, right? And Coralina, you were just saying to thank Tammy Lou Rosario because she sent you. So thank you so much, Tammy. And hopefully, Tammy, you're hanging out with us also. But yeah, as long as you guys are following Sway TV, you are entered into our drawings, our giveaways coming up. We have got 2 of them. We've got this Friday, we've got the archive and art package giveaway. And next Monday at 5 p.m., we've got the PS5, the really big PS5 giveaway. And at Sway TV, we love to give you free stuff. Who doesn't love free stuff? And actually, this is so exciting also. So a week from this Friday, I am having on as a special guest. She's my friend and also the owner of many, many parenting companies. Her name is Tracy Fredkin, and she is running a wellness event here in Los Angeles, but it's virtual, so you can join from anywhere, literally anywhere in the country. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Bye, David. Thank you so much for stopping and hanging out with me and for saying hi. Have a great rest of your day. So anyway, so Tracy is going to be joining me a week from Friday, and we are going to be unboxing. I'm so excited about this. We are going to be unboxing the VIP box that's going out to the people that have paid for, the higher level ticket, but it's not even that high. So if you are interested in getting this, and I want to tell you that this company, this product, that I shared with you guys before, the Whey lotion, I learned about it at her wellness event last year. That was how I learned about it. And actually the reason why the first product that I got into by Whey was actually this. It's the Whey body cleanser. And this is like absolutely one of my favorite products of all time. And I use this obviously in the shower. It smells so good. It is amazing. It is one of my all-time favorite products. And because I love this so much, I researched their product line and I went and I found the lotion, which I'm now also a huge fan of. But anyways, I learned about the Whey product line at Tracy's wellness event last year because she is always bringing in these great companies. And so a week from this Friday, Tracy is going to be here with me and we are going to be talking all about wellness. I'm so excited. We are going to be unboxing her VIP box. She's going to be sharing with us all of the different products that are going out to people, to the VIPs and to people who have who get those boxes. And we're going to be just talking about wellness, and I'm really excited. So, and we're going to do another giveaway that Friday. We are going to give away one of these VIP boxes. So if you follow along and you hang out with me and you're here, we are going to do another giveaway because at Sway TV, we love to give you free stuff. So we're gonna do another. So we have a giveaway this Friday. We have a giveaway next Monday and next Friday. There are so many giveaways. And I didn't even get that one approved with the producers at Sway. So hopefully they're going to be okay with that. That wasn't even the one that I was talking about before that needed to get approved. I have so many things I want to give you. That just means you have to follow along and hang out with me so that you are here for the giveaways, because you do have to be here for the giveaways. That is the rule. So, okay, you have to be entered. You have to follow to be entered into the giveaways. Okay, so, yeah. So anyways, let's see. We were talking about technology. We were talking about the PS5. We are talking about building these incredible human beings by modeling through communication, through building self-esteem and self-confidence and making these kids leaders out in the community and have this ability to advocate for themselves, which I believe, is really like the key to, if I can send my kids out into the world and if ultimately they are kind human beings with a healthy sense of self-esteem and they know how to advocate for themselves, I will really feel like as a parent, I've given them the tools to be the most successful, productive, and happy that they can be. And then the rest is really up to them, right? Like there's only so much as a parent and as parents that we can do. At some point, we have to, send our kids out into the world and cross our fingers that we did enough and that they are going to be able to manage themselves in all of the different situations. And one of the things that is so important and such a huge piece of being able to manage themselves is to really understand their emotions. And that was what I was going to share with you, that I wanted to show you that, in these conversations, one of the things that is so important, aside from having very specific conversations about something like, racism or white privilege or gratitude or God or all these different things, it's also equally, if not more, I actually would say more important from a very, very young age to be teaching our children about their emotions and about the things that really make them feel. Because what happens is that we constantly are having feelings for everything that's happening to us and around us throughout our day. And if we as human beings don't know how to label those emotions, what they are and where they're coming from, and then how to productively deal with them, that's how we as human beings, not just young human beings, but all human beings, get into trouble. So it's really important from a very, very young age to help your children understand their emotions and to label their emotions and to talk about their emotions, conversation into their life in a very cohesive and consistent way. So you should be talking about this stuff all the time. It should be part of your everyday communication with your kids. And again, I like to give you tools to help with that, because I know sometimes it can feel really arbitrary to have a conversation and how to bring something up and where do we go with it and how do we resolve it, right? So because of that, I like to give you tools to help you, and this is one of those tools that I really love. This is by one of my favorite companies for kids products. The company is Ebu, and these are they're called Heard Your Feelings Conversation Flashcards, and they're these awesome, beautifully illustrated flashcards that you can take out and play with your kids. And they set up scenarios, and you can see, look, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna make the browser so you can see, like, they're really cute animals that they set up scenarios. They're illustrations that make sense and are kid friendly. And then on the back of the card here, I'm just gonna, let's see. On the back of the card, whoops, let's see, right? So look, you can see here is a picture of, this is like an illustration on a card. And then on the back of the card are these prompts. So as a parent or as a caregiver or an educator, a teacher, right, you can ask your child these questions and you can engage them in conversations about feelings, okay? And this is something that is really important to start at a very young age, because the center of the brain where our feelings come from is online and working from a very, very young age. And the center of the brain that helps to control those feelings and deal productively in the external world when we have those large emotional storms, that part of the brain is not online and functioning as early as the emotional center is. And what that means is that we as parents and caregivers and educators, we have to be helping our kids learn how to manage their emotions. And so we have to have tools to do that. We have to be able to talk to them. Hi, Ryan. It's nice to see you. You are definitely going to be prepared if you hang out with me, because I am all about preparing you and giving you tips for how to be the best parent, the best caregiver, the best educator, because one of the things that I really believe in as someone who works with kids and families who have newborn to 16-year-old children is that there are a lot of different parenting decisions you're going to make in the course of your child's life. A lot. Like every day you're going to make 20, 30, 40, 50. So, I mean, there are so many decisions you're going to make, right? I really, really wholeheartedly, strongly believe that if you are educated, if you are an educated individual, you will make the right decisions for you. And what that means is that you know what the topic is that you're thinking about. You think about it holistically, which means from a 360-degree approach. You think about the different types of outcomes, and then you have conversations that are respectful. You dialogue out the different outcomes, and then you make decisions. And in order to make those decisions, you have to be educated about what you're even thinking about or talking about or making the decision about. And so my job, what I can do, is to help you make decisions, right? I can help you. I can help to educate you. I can't tell you as the parent or the caregiver specifically what to do. The reason why I can't do that is because I don't live in your house. I am not your child. I don't have, I don't know what your background is. I don't know what you came to the parenting table with. I don't know what was modeled for you. I don't know what works for your kids. Every home is different. That is why there is no one style approach to parenting. And for that reason, it is so important to educate yourself, but then to make the right decision for you, for your kids. Sorry, I needed to read something, and I can't read everything without my glasses, so I wanted to look at something. So if you are joining me and you are here on The Art of Parenting on Sway TV on Amazon Live, what are you going to get out of these shows, the time that you spend with me? I'm going to try to educate you in as many different parenting topics as possible. Yes, Ryan, you have a question. I can't promise that I'm going to answer it. We'll have to see what your question is, but I'm happy to, if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat, and I will see if I want to answer it. Do you think it would be easier communicate with my kids with being a teacher? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Do you mean like if you are a teacher, is it easier to communicate with your kids? Or do you think it's easier for your kids' teachers to communicate with your kids? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. So if you want to clarify that would be great, and then I can answer your question for you. Okay. So emotion. Oh, you are a teacher. Okay. So I think that teachers have a different perspective on children, because unlike a parent who just has their 1, 2, 3, however many kids in their home, a teacher is working on a daily basis with a multitude of kids. And as a result, you see a lot of different styles in those kids. You see the way kids handle things differently. Some kids are very busy and like to move a lot, and other kids can focus. Other kids learn best visually, and some kids learn best writing things down. If you understand that as a teacher, then you can bring that into your home, and you may, and probably in many ways, will parent differently and even sometimes better, because you have a more thorough understanding for how kids can be successful in all different ways. Whereas a parent who doesn't have access to a multitude of kids, they may think that it has to be done the way that they want it done, or they may not understand that there are many ways to do something. So I do think that being a teacher can help you have a different approach to parenting. But I think also that there are many parents who are not teachers that also do a really unbelievable, amazing job at being parents, because they too understand that kids can be different. And so much of this comes down to what I was saying before, which is how we as adults educate ourselves so that we can make decisions that make sense for our children. And, you know, I work with, you're so welcome, Ryan. I work with so many different families on the same thing. And what I mean by that is, for example, sleep. This week I had, so far, it's only Tuesday, I've had 4 different consults with people about teaching their young children how to sleep. And those 4 different consults have been different. 4 different consults. And the reason for that is because in those different homes, the parents are different, the kids are different, the things that they've tried already are different. So I have in my toolkit as an educator, I have a plethora of things that I can talk to you about when it comes to teaching our kids all these different, giving our kids all these different skills and tools that we want them to have over the course of their lifetime, right? But when I talk to you in your home or on the phone or virtually, I get information about how you parent and what your kids are like. And in doing that, when I do that, then I'm able to help you be a better parent to your child. And what works in your home, it's not going to work in my home or in someone else's home, right? We have to find what works for us with our kids. And that is very individual. And so because of that, the best thing that I can do is educate you. And when I educate you, then you can make a decision that's going to work best for your kids. Because the reality is, if I am helping you, there's still no one that knows your kids better than mom and dad or their primary caregiver, whoever that primary caregiver is. There's no one that knows that child better. So I can come in and I can give you advice and I can help you and I can educate you. But ultimately, the decision, the direction that you go in has to be one that you make. And yeah, Corlina, you're totally right. Like, all kids are different and that is okay. And we have to, as adults, we have to understand that. I think I will say again that one of the mistakes that parents, caregivers, and teachers make is when we try to treat kids in a group across the board all the same. So whether you're a parent and you've got 2 kids that you're trying to parent the same, or you're a teacher and you've got 20 kids that you're trying to teach the same, you can't do that. It doesn't work that way. You can't compare them, and you have to figure out what helps them and makes them tick individually and what works for them. I have 2 girls, and I will tell you from day one, they are so different. And it took me a little bit of time to recognize that, right? Like, in the beginning with my younger one, I tried to do things with her that worked with my older, and oh my God, it was a massive parenting fail on my part, because I hadn't figured out yet, and it took time to figure out what was good for my younger daughter, what worked for her. It wasn't the same as what worked for my older daughter. So I had to really become a different parent to her. And, you know, that is unequivocally one of the hardest things if you are a teacher, to figure out how to teach different kids in your classroom. Because when you've got a lot of kids in your classroom, whether it's in person or virtual, you know, they don't all learn the same way. And they don't all act the same way. And it is really, really challenging to figure that out. And Corlina, you were just saying that you have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. They're both boys, but yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about. That one loves to draw and the other one loves soccer. I have 2 girls. They're 12 and 15, so only 3 years apart. And they are so, I mean, yes, they're similar in some ways, but they are so different as well. You know, one of the best examples of this is when I work with parents who have multiple kids, and those multiple kids are in different schools. And one of the things when parents tell me that, you would think that my reaction would be, oh my gosh, how are you doing that? I can't believe you don't have them in one school. No, my reaction to parents who take the time to figure out the best school for their individual children, my response to that is, you are an amazing parent. You are an amazing, amazing, thoughtful, engaged, educated parent, because you took the time to figure out, and you are willing to actually sacrifice maybe your time to get your kids to different schools for their different needs, because different schools meet kids at their different levels, at different developments. And, different schools have different things about them. Like maybe one school is more into athletics, or one is more into the arts, or one is more well-rounded and does everything. It is important to figure out the schools, maybe a school is very academic or super progressive. It is important to figure out the school that is going to best meet the needs of your child and your children. And that is not always the same school. So you cannot, one of the things that I always say to parents is you are not the same parent to all of your kids. That is why our kids grow up differently. That is why if you put your, kids who are adults, if you put them on the couch and ask them about their experiences of their childhood, they will share with you very different experiences. If my brother was sitting on the couch, maybe I should bring him on one time as like a guest. I don't know if he would do it, but it would be really funny to have him come on. But if you were to ask him what his growing up experience was like versus my growing up experience, we've talked about it like a lot. So I know we had very different experiences growing up, and we look back on our childhoods in very different ways. They're both positive. They're both good. Nothing happened. We were very blessed. We had, great parents and a really fun upbringing, but very different, very, very different. And some of that does have to do with birth order. I'm the older sister. Some of it has to do with gender. I identify as a girl. He identifies as a boy. But there are a lot of other factors also, and so much of what plays into that is how we are parented, and our parents were very different to me as compared to how they were with him. And I think I might have to have him. I don't know if he would come on. I mean, he's not really. He actually works behind the camera. He's a writer, director, producer. He's not used to being in front of the camera. So I don't know that that's something that he would be willing to do. I'll have to ask him, because that would be super fun to do an episode all about how we were parented and how we turned out. That would be so fun and very funny. So maybe that's something that we'll want to do. Okay. The last thing that I want to talk to you about, when we're raising these human beings that we want to be strong, healthy, happy, kind individuals, what is it that we are doing? The last thing that I want to say to you before I leave you today is that I want you to really, as a parent, to pay attention. And what does that really look like? And why am I saying that? And the reason is because as our kids grow and as they get older, we all as human beings, we have an internal voice that's constantly talking to us and constantly giving us feedback. And that, I like to actually think of that little voice as intuition. And as children, that intuition is actually very strong. And kids really, they have this very pure way of looking at the world, this very beautiful way of looking at the world. And as they get older, as they go through older elementary years and their tween years and their teen years, it fades, sadly. It fades a little bit. That voice becomes different. That voice, maybe it becomes negative. Maybe it becomes questioning. Maybe it is filled with anxiety. And we as parents and as caregivers and teachers and educators, we need to really pay attention to the shifts that we see in our kids. And we need to figure out in those moments how to engage and interact with our kids. And I want to just share, one final thing with you, because this is something that I have talked about many times on my show, the art of journaling. And I want to share specifically, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I brought it. Okay, I have it with me. So this is a journal that I love. So I have daughters, so I purchased this one is for a journal between a mother and a daughter. It's called Just Between Us. I'm going to show you. Amazon has a plethora of journals. You can find journals with no lines, with lines for free writing, with journals with prompts. I also am writing, personally, I like this. This is the one I'm writing in right now. This is Michelle Obama's Becoming Journal. It has prompts, so I'm writing in that one right now. But this journal is called Just Between Us. It's Just Between Us Mother and Daughter Journal. It's a no stress, no rules journal for girls and their moms. And I really encourage you, when your children get old enough to, when they're writing, and like early on when they're writing, because when they first start writing, they're going to be really excited and they're going to want to write and they're going to want to show you that they can write. And so one of the best things that you can do is to encourage that, but encourage it with something that's actually productive, right? That, you know, like you can actually have them do something. So this is a journal that has prompts, and it can go back and forth between mother and daughter. And if you are starting to see things in your kids, boys or girls, where their personalities are shifting as they're getting older, part of that is because that internal voice is starting to shift. It's not as pure and friendly and kind and questioning and honest as it was when they were really little. And so, you know, the world is starting to take effect and shape who they are becoming. And as parents, we still want to really try to help our kids with their self-esteem and their self-image and their self-worth. And so when you're seeing that their behavior is starting to shift, one of the things that you can do is journal with your kids. And if the earlier you start, the easier this is to get your kids into the habit of doing this. If you tell your 13-year-old that you want to start journaling with them, it's going to be really tough. I promise you, it's going to be really tough. But if you tell your 8-year-old that you want to journal with them, and you take out this really special book between parent and child, and you say, this is going to be a special journal, and we are going to talk to each other in it, and I'm going to write something, and then I'm going to place it under your pillow, and you can read it, and you can write something back to me and put it under my pillow, and I will read it. And by the way, the rules for journaling with your children with this, if you want, one of the things that I really like is I really like saying that whatever we talk about in the journal stays in the journal. The reason why I like doing that is because it takes a lot of the pressure off, and kids are more willing to talk about something if they know that you're not going to be like, oh, by the way, remember when you said X, Y, and Z? We need to talk about that because I wasn't so happy. So no, so this is a really safe space for you to have a conversation or comment or vent, and for your child to do the same. And as I said, this one is a book between mothers and daughters, but that's just because that's what I have. But there are so many other great journals on Amazon, and I think I even have it in my, let's see. Let's see. I think I thought I had one here that was for boys as well. Let's see. I'm not seeing it, so I will have to see if I can find it, and I will put it in my list so that it will be there. But Amazon has so many of these great journals. Here's another one that I really like. This is called the Mindfulness Journal for Teens, and this one also has prompts, and I really love this one as well. And this one you can do boys and girls, and it can be the same thing. You can put it in under their pillow, you can pass it back and forth. The rule can be that it's just something that is between you and your child, and it's a great place to dialogue out, have conversations, and to be a part of your child's life when maybe you're feeling like it isn't so easy to be a part of their life. Okay, so that is the show today. I'm so glad that you have joined me. Thank you so much for watching, for being with me today, for all of the people that joined me, that followed. Thank you. I'm going to be back Friday morning at 9 with Jed. We are going to be doing our Archive Sway TV giveaway. I hope you will join me. And then don't forget, we have on Monday, we have the PS5 giveaway. And a week from Friday, we have the wellness giveaway I'm so excited about with Tracy. That's going to be really fun. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions about the show, you can send those questions to us at Sway TV. You can also send them directly to me. We will put up my personal email address. I am always available for you for your parenting questions. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Let's sway. Take care.
Beautiful. All right. Let's talk about this wellness summit here.